Boxing Truth here, back with another video. Make sure to smash that like button, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Alright, let's talk about it. We got to talk about it. The potential showdown that the fanboys are scared to death on both sides of the play. The Lomachenko fanboys, the Devin Haney fanboys, they're absolutely scared to death for this fight because of what could happen for the loser of this fight. But if you're a real boxing fan, you're going to want to see this fight. It's one of the best fights to be made in the game. One of the best fights to be made in the division at lightweight. Devin Haney's coming off a dominant performance, a much better performance compared to his first fight against George Kambosos. It was a more convincing win. He really took it to George. Was even close to stopping him. Was just going on out with that right hand. It was very effective. It was a different game plan, and it was a more decisive victory. I mean, you could pretty much tell the fight that Devin was going to win the fight. It was this complete contrast of there was hardly any promotion. George barely talked. The confidence was totally gone. I mean, it was a complete night and day from the first fight to the second fight, and you just knew what was going to happen in this rematch. And Devin secured the victory, and now everyone's talking about Lomachenko, and that's the fight they should be talking about. I mean, why wouldn't Devin want to stay for one more fight at lightweight to fight Loma and try to get that scalp? It's one of the big scalps out there. A big name, a very accomplished fighter, and people still believe, even at 34 years of age, that Loma can still get the job done against Lord Devin Haney. But you hear that, Lord Devin Haney versus Vasyl Lomachenko. The sound of that makes Boxing Truth shadow box. To me, it's a true 50-50 fight. I would say Devin Haney is a slight favorite only because of his age. He's 10 years younger. He's the naturally bigger guy. And he's fast, he's quick, athletic. He's not the best defensively skilled boxer, no. But he does have attributes that make him difficult to fight. He's quick, he's fast, you got to be athletic, you got to have the foot speed, you got to have the reflexes, and you got to have some pop if you want to beat Devin Haney. Luckily for Loma, he has most of those attributes. He's got the speed, he's got the reflexes, he's got the defensive abilities, he has the pressure style to really trouble Devin Haney. So it's a very interesting fight. To me, it's practically 50-50. If I was an odds maker, I would make Devin a -130 favorite and Loma a +105. That's how the type of fight is going to be. That's the type of line it's going to be. Because despite Loma's age, 34 is still relatively fresh. It's not a death sentence. I mean, 34-year-olds throughout history of boxing, or around that age group, have been able to son the new generation coming up. Look what Floyd Mayweather did to Victor Ortiz. He was 34 years of age, 10-year age gap. You know? Look what Ali did to Foreman. 32 years of age, knocked out a young lion. So, 34 is not a death sentence. It's not young, but he's definitely getting up there in age. I'm 34 years old. You're making me feel old. But my generation still has the ability to sun these cats. They still have the ability to put off the new generation for at least another year or two. But it's a very interesting fight. I expect the fight to get done, be made. It will be Devin Haney's last fight with Top Rank. Unless they do like an extension type for the fight to happen. It's very possible. Devin has all the momentum though. 2 victories over George. He has the youth. He has the size advantage. But it's going to be interesting to see if Haney has improved enough. Because I was not impressed in this fight against Jojo Diaz. Jojo whooped him and didn't get the decision. So if Jojo can do that to Haney, embarrass him, make him look average. I know the Haney fanboys in denial about that fight. Look, he lost that fight. He fucking lost. And Loma is a better fighter than Jojo. at least has more pop, has more tools, has more accomplishments and better victories. He's just about 4 years older. But they're around the same size. I mean, if little featherweight JoJo can do that to Devin, it's not out of the question that Loma at 34 years of age can pull out another magical, strong performance in what every great fighter goes through. They have that one last great performance. So it's a fight that has to happen. Betting wise, I'm scared to death of this fight. But if you follow boxing history, the momentum, everything that goes into place for this fight, the size, the age, the momentum, Loma not looking great at lightweight in the majority of his fights, most of his fights. He's looked good his last 2 fights. I was impressed. It showed that he still got it and that he could still do damage in this division. So it's got to happen. I know the fanboys are scared. They don't want to know. They don't want to be. They don't want to be around for the loser of this fight. You got motherfuckers saying that Haney should go after the new generation. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Loma is still a top lightweight. He is still willing to fight the new generation guys. He's already #1 for WBO. So he's gonna want this fight. He wants to become undisputed champion. This is his chance. And this is pretty much his last chance. So boxing history says that Devin most likely will win the fight. But there's also been on those rare occasions where the old lion ends up taking down the young lion. So it's very possible. Loma is not 40. He's still a capable fighter, still fresh enough and still capable enough to beat Devin Haney. He has the style for it. He has the pressure fighting style, the defense, the footwork. And if JoJo can make Haney look bad, it's not out of the question that Lomachenko could look bad. But yeah, man, I know Bob is, he's excited about making this fight. And there's going to be a lot of hurt feelings, It's going to be intense. There's going to be a little racial, it's a black fighter against a white Ukrainian fighter. So I'm just going to be enjoying the fight when it gets made. I don't really care who wins. For betting purposes, I'm very intrigued by the fight. But to me, it's almost an impossible. I mean, you got to have balls. I know everyone's going to think it's a guarantee Haney wins. It's not. I mean, JoJo embarrassed him at featherweight. What can Loma do? So, but if Haney, it's been over a year since that fight. Haney's grown. He's matured. He looked a lot better his last fight. He looked a little stronger, a little more power. I mean, actually, he had buckled George Kambosos, had him on the verge of being stopped at times. So that was impressive. So to me, that was his best performance. What he did against George the second fight. I'm not a high on Haney like that. Very talented guy, but to me, very beatable compared to some of the other guys in the younger generation game. But he's got plenty of advantages in this fight. A lot riding into this fight, a lot of momentum riding into this fight, and it's gonna be a spectacle, man. Devin Haney versus Lomachenko. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.